G, any one of you?
I don't know, somewhat.
What do you understand from quantitative and qualitative? Because at times students they just confuse these research types from the quantitative and qualitative variables. Yes, any one of you?
Ma'am, we studied quantitative and qualitative variables. Like quantitatives, they are continuous and they're open-ended questions, and qualitative, they're categorical and close-ended variables. And then
Uh,
that they can be discrete and continuous, the quantitatives.
hmm, hmm, hmm. They can be continuous variables,
And
and
then they can be discrete, ma'am.
as far as qualitative variables are
They can be
concerned,
nominal and ordinal.
very good. They can be nominal and ordinal. Now, they are different from quantitative and qualitative research designs. Remember this thing, okay? Because your research, because all of you are going to do quantitative research with me, in your quantitative research, your tool is going to be comprised of both types of variables, quantitative variables and qualitative variables also. Okay, this doesn't mean that if you have qualitative variables in your research, this means that now your research has turned out to be a qualitative research. Sometimes few of the students they ask me this question categorically that, oh, when we are having qualitative variables in our research, now our research will turn out to be qualitative. I said no. Quantitative research is as per the study design and the methodology and the analysis strategies that we are choosing. It's not because of quantitative or qualitative variables that you have. Okay? Because qualitative variables, they are must to be present in every research. Give me the example. Why is it so that qualitative research, they are must to be present in every research? Yes. Think practically that how they would be. Yes. Give me any example of qualitative variable.
Ma'am, like
जी
A,
जी जी बेटे बोले.
Education, age,
Good, excellent education. And he said age also, huh?
married, unmarried.
Very well done, bete. Married, unmarried. This is what? This is simple nominal. Education is what? Now, you can always keep it as nominal educated or uneducated, educated, or you can always
Ordinal
categorize
as well.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Metric,
You can always,
FSC,
yes,
bachelor's, master's.
yes. So you can always, above all, gender. Isn't it a qualitative variable? It is a qualitative variable.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Similarly, yes. So similarly, place of residence. Yeah, you can always write down the religion. You can always the
And
socioeconomic
the
status.
professions, different
Yes,
professions.
profession. Or if you want to ask about certain habits like smoker, non-smoker, right? Counseled, not counseled, pregnant, non-pregnant. So they are all qualitative variables. They are going to be present in your research, whatever research question you are going to phrase out. So that doesn't mean that if you have qualitative variables in your research, then your research paradigm will be qualitative. No, in quantitative and qualitative variables, they are both present in your quantitative researches. Now, age, as somebody said, sorry.
That's quantitative.
Now this is okay. Now age is like something. Age is like something that can be quantitative. And I always urge my students to please make your age quantitative in the beginning.
Age in
And
years, ma'am.
yes, and later on, you can always categorize it. You can always categorize it into what?
Categories, ma'am. Quantitative, qualitative.
Yes, you can always categorize a quantitative variable into a qualitative variable. It can be converted into categories later on. Keep all the variables open if you want to, open ended. Because what will be the benefit of keeping your variable open ended? If you can keep, what will be the benefit of keeping this open?
Ma'am, you can later change it into categories. Quantitative can be changed into categories, but qualitative cannot be changed into
Yes.
quantitative.
Okay. So, what benefit we can expect to achieve if we get, if we keep this quantitative? This is what I'm asking. You are absolutely right.
Ma'am,
That
test.
good. What else?
With two categories, we can go for t-test.
What else? We can always get a mean value of that, isn't it? A mean age.
Yes,
And in
ma'am.
one single, with one single measure, you can explain to your reader that the mean age, so they need not to look into the ages of each and every, say, for example, if it's a 200 sample size. So they need not to know that what was the age of who was in which particular age group or what was the age of every individual. By giving one single measure, mean age, this means that most of the respondents in this group, they were like more or less in this age group. Isn't it nice? If you are conducting a research onto, say, for example, the mean hours of sleeping, or you are looking at the mean hours of studying, or anything like that, or the hours of sleeping, or if you are looking at the hours of gadget use, so you can always calculate that what is the mean time that individuals they are spending on their gadgets whenever you are looking into some sort of addiction to technological gadgets. So what we do, we calculate the time period for which that the time period that each individual is spending on his or her gadget. So you can always come up with one single measure. And you are absolutely right. It also gives us the liberty to choose certain particular test that we can apply. So what we will do for that, which particular test we can apply, as you very rightly said that, see, we can apply
Ma'am, two categories we can have t-test. With three categories, we have ANOVA.
Categories, and what other prerequisites should be there? Yes,
Ma'am,
you're right.
independent variable categorical 2, binary, and outcome quantitative.
Okay, the other the prerequisite is that before deciding all that, you need to check the normality of your data.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to
And
assess
normality.
you need to assess that whether your outcome variable that you want to compare between two different groups. Say, for example, you have taken two different groups of males and female, or you have made three different groups. You need to be sure that the outcome variable that you want to compare, or the mean difference that you want to compare between these two variables, should be normally distributed. If normal distribution is there, then definitely you can go for your
Reliability, ma'am.
your parametric test. Okay, so the parametric test you are going to apply. But if the it is not there, then we move on to non-parametric alternative of these parametric tests. Like, I'm sure you must have read Wilcoxon sign rank test, or there is Man-Whitney U test, or Spearman rank order, Friedman test, Kruskis-Wallis. So they're all different non-parametric alternatives of these parametric tests of independent sample, dependent sample, one-way ANOVA, repeated measures ANOVA. So all these tests, or correlation. So all these parametric tests, they are having their non-parametric alternatives. We are going to decide on the basis of what? The normality of your outcome variable. Okay. So this is what I'm telling you, that whatever variable you can keep continuous in the middle, because once you'll start putting individuals into different categories right in the beginning, so you won't be able to calculate a mean age. So what maximum we can get, the percentage, that this much percentage of individuals, they lie in this particular age category, this much particular percentage of individuals, they lie in this particular category. So we won't be able to have that exact measure or figure in our hand at the end if we straight away putting them into categories right from the beginning. Okay. All right. So this thing is clear that quantitative, qualitative variables, they are both going to be a part of your research. Quantitative.
Yes.
Now let me just take you back. Now I'm just having 14 students with me, and I wondered how would they cover up all this? Because this time, let me just share one thing, that these video recordings, I don't know, there is something wrong with the Zoom. and they are not giving that access. Probably there is a lot of load on Zoom. I have opened this option of recording. You can always go for recording. Although I'm recording it, but I don't really think that I'll be able to share it with all of you, because these recordings, they I was unable to share these recordings in my previous session. Okay, all right. Now, okay, let me. I'll just come. Let me just give me 2 minutes.
हटो मामा चाय लेके माँ चाय ना पिए तुम देखो टीवी अपना जान के फ्राइज आ गए फ्राइज बिस्मिल्लाह हाँ हेड लग गया ना नजर नहीं आ रहा गैप है इसमें आई ना करो चलो जो मर्जी करो ट्राई तो करो बहुत मजे की इट्स ओके मम्मी डाल
पापा अम्मी वाला ग्लास उठा के लाए हो चीनी वाला ये अरे श्योर नहीं ना आप अम्मी वाला उठा के लाए
अब भैया ने देखा था कि भैया ने जग से
अच्छा
डाला था
ठीक है बहन की कॉल है
स्ट्रॉबेरी जग
Zakia, please mute your mic.
Okay, fine. Now we are going to have, whenever we have to conduct a research, we need to start with a good research topic. And as I told you earlier, that why is there a need to conduct a good research? Because we really want to get it published. Once we published, who will get the ultimate benefit out of it? Yes, any idea?
Ma'am, the people.
Yes, very good. The people for the whom we have researched in our research project, so definitely they are going to be benefit. You might have researched some particular social aspect. You might have researched some sort of treatment aspect. You might have studied some sort of aspect that is linked with the psychological or the mental health of the people. So whatever in fact you are trying to do, and you are getting it published, this means the ultimate benefit should go to the people. It should go back to the society. I always tell my students that when we used to study research, our teachers used to tell us that research is like growing a tree. When you grow a tree, and the results of your research is like fruits of that tree, so people make use of that fruit, people use that fruit. So similarly, when you are going to conduct your research, you are going to make use of others fruits, because the results that you are going to study from others researchers, they are going to benefit you a lot in deciding that, okay, which particular research I should be carrying on, which particular research ideas are there, they are good enough to be carried up, what has been already researched, what is there that has yet to be researched, what is left behind. So all these particular ideas we are taking out, and we really want to get ourselves published, not perish. This is a very famous saying in research that publish, either you publish or you perish. Publish means that you will stay alive. If you get yourself published, the results they are now with the audience, people will make use of that. Perish means die out. People would die, and your research would die if you will make it a part of library, and if you won't disseminate the results and the information with the rest of the society. This means that there is no benefit out of your research. Okay, what other benefit you can think of from research by getting ourselves published? What other benefit we can get? Gee, any one of you? Any idea? What other benefit we can get apart from providing benefit to the people? Yes, any one of you? Have you ever published, any one of you? How many students there are with me right now? We are 16 right now. So, have you ever published, any one of you, in your undergrad or in your bachelor's?
No.
Are you all with me? Research isn't that boring, huh?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, with you, ma'am.
Okay, you are with me. Thank you. So tell me, either you might have published or you might have not published. So if you have not published, tell me you have not published, huh?
No, ma'am, not
Not
published.
published yet, ma'am.
Ma'am, not published yet.
Okay, no problem. So there is always a first time. We will definitely get ourselves published somewhere, someday, inshallah. So if there is a publication on your credit, so isn't it like it is going to establish a rapport for you that she is a very good researcher, she has got this much number of publications? So who is going to get benefit? Researcher is also going to get benefit
Yes,
out of it.
ma'am.
Right? You are going to establish your rapport as a researcher because nowadays nobody is interested that how many degrees you have on your profile. People are more interested to know that how many research publications you have on your credit, how many times you have get yourself published in good reputed journals,
Kya?
right? So this should be the agenda. And now our libraries, our regulatory bodies, they have kept a very stringent criteria for promotions. So this is how you got promoted, that this much number of papers if you have on your credit, so you are eligible for your promotion. This much number of years you have been onto this post with this much number of publications, you will be promoted to the next level. So that is so much important. So research publications are important for the researcher, and research publications, they are important for the people also. And then research publication, okay, fine. We will talk about later that how we should make those research paper publications ethical and what ethical guidelines we need to follow. So why do research? Either publish or perish. You want to prove your worth as a researcher, and obviously we want to provide benefit to the society because there is poverty, there is hunger, there's social, there are tensions, so outbreaks, the way we are tackling today's pandemic, so health related issues, disasters we are looking into. So a lot of people, they did research into earthquake hit area back in 2005, so the natural disasters at times. So in
And these
tsunami,
days we have research for COVID, ma'am. A lot of
yes,
research going on.
yes, absolutely. It's all health related issues, outbreaks. So what we in fact we are trying to do, we are trying to solve that problem. Everyone is struggling hard, to get vaccination as quickly as possible to overcome the fears. And our community has unique problems also. So that is why we should be conducting research. We need to look for the fresh solutions also. Now what problems we are facing here, they might not be the problems in the west, and what problems they are facing in the west, they might not be our problems. So we need to look into our unique problems, we need to look for our unique solutions. So at the end, the way I told you, to get promoted. So this is what we all intend to, because your professional growth is also important along with all rest of the benefits that you can give back to the society. Right? Okay. Now ask the right how do we take a start with the research? As I told earlier, that it's always the right question that should come in our mind. At times it seems that this question is so stupid. Why should I ask this question? Ma'am would be thinking that, see, this is so silly question and all. There's no such thing in research. You can ask me whatever is coming in your mind. Because at times there are multiple students who are mediocre students, and they are not like high achievers in terms of marks, but they turn out to be great researchers, because research is altogether different from your other academic capabilities. Research is more of your pragmatic approach and more of your mental framework and capabilities that come and they play their role, and in drafting a nice research question and carrying out the whole protocol. It might be a very simple research question, and it's how you can make that simple thing into an exotic thing. It's the way you approach your research. It's the way you design your methodology and framework for conducting that research. It's the way you design your methodology. You analyze your results, how truthful you were in your data collection. All these things, they are going to, through all these things, your research is going to stand out. Okay, so we always try to think a logical research question. We need to be skeptical. I always tell my students that millions of people, they might have seen things falling down. Who first thought of this, that why this apple is coming down, why it is not going up? Who thought of this? And it was a big breakthrough in the history of mankind. Who was he?
Newton, ma'am. Newton.
Newton's laws of motion then come all together. So, see, this is what it is. This is how you need to be skeptical. You need to have that inquisitiveness to ask the right question and to look beyond, to look around you. You will find research questions around yourself. Why is there sun preference in our society? Okay, so why people believe, what are the coping strategies that parents of handicapped children, they are adopting to tackle this problem? So all these, why girls, they score more as compared to boys, are very common examples that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so why is there unrest in the society? So why is there more child labor in our society? Or what are the beliefs or the perceptions of the people? At times, beliefs and perceptions, otherwise some people say that they are purely under the domain of qualitative research, but perceptions are measurable. Okay, so whenever we can always measure them by making use of a Likert scale. So all these things that are there, we can always ask those questions, and we can formulate a very nice research design. So and you can always conduct a research out of that. So there is no hard and fast binding, and you can think as open as possible. Come up with your research ideas to me. I will discuss with you, and we'll come to a point that, okay, among all these, what we should look forward for our research project, what we should carry forward. So there is a very famous, saying, "Verily, the beauty of a question is half of the knowledge." So this is very, very important, and this is what is there in our religion also. Million saw the apple fall, but Newton was like, he said, why is it coming down? Okay. So this is very, very important. Now, the next would be the steps of research. This is a collective overall overview of research. I'll take you step by step to from the selection of a research topic and moving up till the write up of our tool and reference writing. But this is I've kept one comprehensive session on research methodology, so it is going to be a part of all that. So far, if you have any question with me, so you can always ask me, because I want to start with steps of research in the next session. Till now, whatever we have talked about, is there any question that is bothering you? Anything related to your research in your third semester that you want to ask me? Please feel free to ask me.